Congrats on the win. Obviously, exciting back and forth there over the final 2 minutes. What did you think of LaMelo Ball and kind of the decision-making he had in that? Seemed like just about every play he made got a good shot, either went in or, drive and kick three there to Miles too.
Yeah, proud of the group. I just thought that they did a great job all around of sticking to the game plan and tightening up a lot of the areas that we talked about, early in the game. Bucks have 39 points in the first quarter. A lot of their guys hit threes, but the emphasis was how do we protect the paint and try to keep Antetokounmpo out of the paint. And I thought we did a really good job of that all night. Hold a guy like that to one free throw, I think is a testament to the guy's defensive and competitive discipline, which was really impressive. And then you just talk about at the end of the game, when you need to execute a lot better, I thought we kind of slowed it down, put the ball in Melo's hands, and try to attack the appropriate defenders, and then give him the appropriate space around him to be able to just make plays and do his thing. And I thought he did a great job. It's fun to see the box score and, 10 turnovers instead of some of the other numbers that we've seen in the box score.
The final defensive possession. I think with about 7 seconds left. I know you haven't watched the film, but can you kind of just walk what you remember and kind of maybe what triggered Giannis from deciding to drive and settling for the pull-up?
I think that it's what we did all game in terms of showing him body, showing a crowd. And, Connaughton hit that high quadrant three a couple plays before that. But, again, we trusted kind of like our shift activity. And I thought on that last play, Grant, who all game, was the primary defender on Antetokounmpo for most of the game, he did a really good job. And he kept him in front. I think he understood his tendencies. I thought all the guys around him understood how to kind of like fake and fade and make it seem like there was a crowd there and it seemed like we were going to come help. And, he settled for a jumper, and I thought we got a great contest and finished it with a deflection out of bounds.
Going back to your game plan, are you kind of playing the law of averages there? Like you mentioned, they have 39 in the first quarter. Everyone's hitting threes, but you say we don't want to change our game plan because they're making those shots. Let's try to ride it out, and the law of averages will kind of even out.
For sure. You're hoping that those numbers come back to you. I think at the end of the first quarter, they were shooting like 66% from three. And it was from guys that typically haven't been that great of three-point shooters. So we felt like we were giving them up to the right guys. And the other part of the game plan is to sometimes just try to change the shot distribution. Some of these other guys, they're good players and they're good shooters and stuff, but I don't want to look at a box score at the end of the game and like the best player has gotten to taking 30 shots or whatever it may be. Let's try to make some of the other guys have to make some plays.
I guess fourth quarter clutch plays for you guys. A game like this, what can you say about the way the team found a way to kind of just find plays to pull out and just get a win?
Yeah, I thought it started again in that first quarter, coming out with a good offensive purpose behind us. I thought Josh Green played an amazing game on both ends of the court. To see him be decisive like that and a lot of his quick decision reads was great. And to see him knock down a couple of jumpers, I thought that he just really helped us in 5 assists. He's just a playmaker. He's a heck of a basketball player, and he kind of helped spark a lot of that offensive run. And it's funny, whenever you get multiple guys, you get Miles back, and you get guys that can actually handle and do some things. It also helps Brandon and Melo trust it a little bit more with their running habits, and now they'll play off the ball and stuff. So I just thought it was a great team effort to figure out how to compete.
I was going to ask you about him. I mean, he had, I think, total of 4 points in the last 3 games, but to have 10 in the first quarter, as you mentioned, 5 rebounds. Just can you explain just when he's playing that way, how much of a boost it gives you guys, especially with LaMelo in the backcourt with him?
Yeah, it gives us a boost. It gives him a boost. But I always trust that he's going to come through whatever he's going through on the court because he's a worker and he cares so much. And, he's just got the right type of Hornets DNA and character to him. And so I know it was only 4 points the last couple games, but to me it's not about points with him. It's his overall impact that he has on winning and to our whole team spirit. I think that it was really cool to see him have a great game today.
Nothing about what Musa does looks easy, but can you talk about how he kind of makes the game easy for himself when he's on a roll? He catches the ball, makes a quick decision. He gets a rebound, makes a quick decision. How much does that kind of play into getting those second chance points and allowing the game to be easier for him?
Yeah, he's hungry. I think he's hungry to play. He's hungry to compete. He's hungry for every offensive rebound. I've loved his tenacity on both ends of the floor, and he's a connector. Like that's a word we've been using a ton. He does it defensively with his communication and his versatility, and then offensively, he's connecting us by offensive rebounding and then kicking out to guys for dagger threes, or even that little post move he had today into shot clock. Like it's kind of sweet to see that happen for him. So I think the basketball usually rewards you whenever you play with that type of energy and effort. And so it's always good to see him come up with some 50-50 balls and competitive plays.
Same thing about Musa. He only had one personal foul tonight to go along with the 3 blocks and 1 steal. How important is that just to your whole defensive scheme with him only getting 1 foul and then adding with the blocks?
Yeah, I would say our whole team needs to we all need to be better about defending without fouling. I think that's part of our defensive mantra, is to just try to be as like solid and competitive as we can be. And so when you're a young guy coming off the bench in the NBA, I think it's important that you're just earning the coach's trust. And part of earning his trust and earning your teammates' trust is to know that you can go out there on the floor and you're not going to foul. You're not going to turn it over. You're not going to try to do too much. You kind of stay in your lane, and he's done a great job, I think, of just embracing his role and doing it at a really high level.